The world is changed. I feel it in the water. I feel it in the earth. I smell it in the air. Much that once was is lost, for none now live who remember it. It began with the forging of the great rings. 3 were given to the elves, immortal, wisest, fairest of all beings. 7 to the dwarf lords, great miners and craftsmen of the mountain halls. And 9 rings were gifted to the race of men who above all else desire power. For within these rings was bound the strength and the will to govern each race. But they were all of them deceived. For another ring was made. In the land of Mordor, in the fires of Mount Doom, the Dark Lord Sauron forged in secret a master ring to control all others. And into this ring he poured his cruelty, his malice, and his will to dominate all life. 1 ring to rule them all. One by one, the free lands of Middle-earth fell to the power of the ring. But there were some who resisted. A last alliance of men and elves marched against the armies of Mordor. On the slopes of Mount Doom, they fought for their freedom of Middle-earth.
Tangalohide! Lithium Ipili! Hold positions! Fire the arrows!
Victory was near, but the power of the ring could not be undone. It was in this moment, when all hope had faded, that Isildur, son of the king, took up his father's sword. Sauron, the enemy of the free peoples of Middle-earth, was defeated. The ring passed to Isildur, who had this one chance to destroy evil forever. But the hearts of men are easily corrupted, and the ring of power has a will of its own. It betrayed Isildur to his death, and some things that should not have been forgotten were lost. Thus a 3rd age of Middle-earth began. History became legend, legend became myth. And for 2,500 years, the ring passed out of all knowledge. Until, when chance came, it ensnared a new bearer.
My precious.
The ring came to the creature Gollum, who took it deep into the tunnels of the misty mountains. And there it consumed him.
It came to me, my own, my love, my preciousness.
The ring gave Gollum unnatural long life. For 500 years it poisoned his mind, and in the gloom of Gollum's cave, it waited. The darkness crept back into the forests of the world. Rumor grew of a shadow in the east, whispers of a nameless fear, and the ring of power perceived. Its time had now come. It abandoned Gollum. But something happened then the ring did not intend. It was picked up by the most unlikely creature imaginable.
What's this?
A hobbit, Bilbo Baggins of the Shire.
A ring.
Lost, lost, my precious is lost.
For the time will soon come when hobbits will shape the fortunes of all.
The 22nd day of September in the year 1400 by Shire reckoning. Bag End, Bagshot Row, Hobbiton, West Farthing, the Shire, Middle-earth, the third age of this world. There and back again. A Hobbit's Tale by Bilbo Baggins. Now, where to begin? Ah, yes. Concerning hobbits. Hobbits have been living and farming in the four farthings of the Shire for many hundreds of years, quite content to ignore and be ignored by the world of the big folk. Middle-earth being, after all, full of strange creatures beyond count. Hobbits must seem of little importance, being neither renowned as great warriors, nor counted among the very wise. Frodo! Someone at the door! In fact, it has been remarked by some that hobbits' only real passion is for food. A rather unfair observation, as we also have developed a keen interest in the brewing of ales, and the smoking of pipeweed. But where our hearts truly lie is in peace and quiet and good tilled earth. For all hobbits share a love of things that grow. And yes, no doubt to others, our ways seem quaint. But today of all days, it is brought home to me. It is no bad thing to celebrate a simple life. Frodo, the door! Sticklebacks, where is that boy? Frodo! You're late. A wizard is never late, Frodo Baggins. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. It's wonderful to see you, Gandalf. You didn't think I'd miss your Uncle Bilbo's birthday? What's new in the world? Tell me everything. What, everything? Far too eager and curious for a hobbit. Most unnatural. Well, what can I tell you? Life in the wide world goes on much as it has this past age, full of its own comings and goings, scarcely even aware of the existence of hobbits. For which I am very thankful. So, how is the old rascal? I hear this is to be a party of special magnificence. You know Bilbo. He's got the whole place in an uproar. Well, that should please him. Half the Shire's been invited, and the rest of them are turning up anyway. And so, life in the Shire goes on very much as it has this past age, full of its own comings and goings, with change coming slowly. If it comes at all, for things are made to endure in the Shire, passing from one generation to the next. There's always been a Baggins living here under the hill in Bag End. And there always will be. To tell you the truth, Bilbo's been a bit odd lately. I mean, more than usual. He's taken to locking himself in his study. He spends hours poring over old maps when he thinks I'm not looking. Where's it gone? He's up to something. All right then, keep your secrets. What? But I know you have something to do with it. Good gracious me. Before you came along, we Bagginses were very well thought of. Indeed. Never had any adventures or did anything unexpected. If you're referring to the incident with the dragon, I was barely involved. All I did was give your uncle a little nudge out of the door. Whatever you did, you've been officially labeled a disturber of the peace. Oh, really? Gandalf, I'm glad you're back. So am I, dear boy. So am I. No, thank you. We don't want any more visitors, well-wishers, or distant relations. And what about very old friends? Gandalf? Bilbo Baggins. My dear Gandalf. Good to see you. 111 years old. Who would believe it? You haven't aged a day. Come in, come in. Welcome, welcome. Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old wine. I was expecting you last week, not that it matters. You come and go as you please. Always have done, always will. You've caught me a bit unprepared, I'm afraid. We've only got cold chicken, bit of pickle, some cheese here. Oh, no, that might be a little risky. We've got raspberry jam and apple tart. Got some custard somewhere. Not much for afters, I'm afraid. Oh, no, we're all right. I've just found some sponge cake. Nice little snack. Hope it's enough. I could make you some eggs if you'd like. Just tea, thank you. Oh, right. You don't mind if... No, not at all. Go ahead.
Bilbo Baggins, you open this door.
I'm not home. It's the Sackville Bagginses.
I know you're in there.
They're after the house. They've never forgiven me for living this long. I've got to get away from all these confounded relatives, hanging on the bell all day, never giving me a moment's peace. I want to see mountains again. Mountains, Gandalf. And then find somewhere quiet where I can finish my book. Oh, tea. So you mean to go through with your plan, then? Yes, it's all in hand. All the arrangements are made. Frodo suspects something. Course he does. He's a Baggins, not some block-headed bracegirdle from Hardbottle. You will tell him, won't you? Yes. He's very fond of you. I know. He'd probably come with me if I asked him. I think, in his heart, Frodo's still in love with the Shire. The woods and the fields, little rivers. I am old, Gandalf. I know I don't look it, but I'm beginning to feel it in my heart. I feel thin, sort of stretched, like butter scraped over too much bread. I need a holiday, a very long holiday, and I don't expect I shall return. In fact, I mean not to. Old Toby, the finest weed in the South Farthing. Oh, Gandalf, my old friend, this will be a night to remember. Hello, Fatty Bulger, lovely to see you. Welcome. Go on, Sam. Ask Rosie for a dance. I think I'll just have myself another ale. Oh, no you don't. Go on. So there I was, at the mercy of 3 monstrous trolls. Have you ever heard of a troll? Do you know what a troll is? Great, big, nasty, 20-foot-high, smelly things. And they're arguing about how they're going to cook us. Whether it be turned on a spit, or minced in a pie, or whether they were going to sit on us one by one and squash us into jelly. They spent so long arguing the weather twos and why-4s that the sun's first light cracked over the top of the trees and turned them all to stone. No, the big one. Mrs. Bracegirdle, how nice to see you. Welcome. Are all these children yours? Good gracious, you have been productive. Sackville Bagginses! Quickly, hide! Thank you, my boy. You're a good lad, Frodo. I'm very selfish, you know. Yes, I am very selfish. I don't know why I took you in after your mother and father died, but it wasn't out of charity. I think it was because of all my numerous relations, you were the one Baggins that showed real spirit. Bilbo, have you been at the Gaffer's homebrew? No. Well, yes, but that's not the point. The point is, Frodo, you'll be all right. You're supposed to stick it in the ground. It is in the ground. Outside! This was your idea. Bilbo, watch out for the dragon! Dragon? Nonsense. Hasn't been a dragon in these parts for 1,000 years. That was good. Let's get another one. Meriadoc Brandybuck and Peregrine Took. I might have known. Speech! My dear Bagginses and Boffins, Tooks and Brandybucks, Grubs, Chubs, Burrowses, Hornblowers, Bulgers, Bracegirdles, Goodbodies, Brockhouses, and Proudfoots. Proudfeet! Proudfoots. Also my good Sackville Bagginses that I welcome back at last to Bag End. Today is my 111th birthday. I am 11-1 today. Yes, and alas, 11-1 years is far too short a time to live among such excellent and admirable hobbits. I don't know half of you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve. I have things to do, and I have put this off for far too long. I regret to announce this is the end. I am going now. I bid you all a very fond farewell. Goodbye.